For 17 years, pro football's winningest organization were once again the world champions of professional football.
This was our finest hour. This was the finest hour in the history of the Oakland Raiders. To Tom Flores, the coaches, and the great athletes, you were magnificent out there today. You really were.
And January 1981, and the Oakland Raiders were Super Bowl champs. And our next guest got there after being traded from the New York Jets, and was a member of that Super Bowl team, the Super Bowl winning team. Burgess Owens, retired NFL safety for the Oakland Raiders and the Jets Super Bowl champ, and the author, folks, of a very important, great new book, Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. Burgess, it's so good to talk to you, my friend.
Steve, same here, my friend. It really is good to connect with you again. And what great memories you just brought back with that, with Al Davis. And you're absolutely right. This will be our finest hour. America's going to come together, understand who our true enemy is, and it's not each other. And we're going to win this thing. We're going to come out on top like we always have.
Well, I want to get to the book, but I want to just ask you, today the nomination process officially for Donald Trump, et cetera. How important do you believe it is, and let's say for the black community, since we're going to be talking about the black community, whether they know it or not, to have Donald Trump be the chief executive of this country as opposed to Hillary Clinton for the future of the black community, young blacks, et cetera?
We are at an extremely important crossroad for our country. What has happened to the black race over the last 100 years is what it looks like when socialists, Marxists, and liberals take over. We cannot afford to have any more years of that mess. So for the black community in particular, we're going to have some answers for you. And this book highlights that. The most important thing is realizing that we can. We're in a country that allows us to do anything we want to with the right choices and the right team. So it's important, it's imperative that we get a free enterpriser, a believer in our system of American way, and move this country forward as a team.
And also, when it comes to law enforcement, Donald Trump has said he and Pence are the law enforcement ticket. And, you got Hillary Clinton. I believe I've been told that Michael Brown's mother, for one, is going to be speaking at the Democratic convention. Now, that to me just continues the message that's been sent by Obama and Hillary and Loretta Lynch, that basically the cops are guilty just because of a video and blacks are being targeted. And, it's just a terrible message. We need a message to the black community, and tell me if I'm wrong. Hey, obey the cops. Do what they say. Don't ever disobey a cop.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting and what really is important to understand, and this is the message that has been changed over the years, the revisionists. The black community was one of the most competitive, successful, moving forward communities in our entire country the first 100 years after slavery. We did that because we believed in the American way. We believed in law and order. We believed in being respectful. We believed in a God in heaven. And what happened when you look at what happened to us, when you have a Trojan horse, that's the NAACP with its 21 white socialists, atheists, Marxists, race-controlled Democrats who came into our community, and the community, by the way, that was Martin Luther King Sr.'s capitalist, Christian, entrepreneurial community. When you see what happens there, that's our future if we don't really understand what we're up against. And again, it's not each other. It's not black and white crisis we're after, guys. It's an ideology crisis. It's an ideology of socialism, Marxism versus free enterprise and capitalism. We need to win that fight because our country's always been on top because of it.
You talk about in your book liberalism. You talk about the NAACP, as you just alluded to, and the 21 founders, the white socialists, Marxist founders of the NAACP. Elaborate on that.
Well, in order for them to get into our country, into our community, which was moving forward at a very fast pace, they had to use stealth. Stealth is being used today also with BET. BET is not a black organization. It's a white organization. It's a group of white liberal Democrats bought BET 15 years ago. And from that point till now, they have fire-hosed my community with anti-white, anti-police, anti-family, anti-American rhetoric. So what's happening with Black Lives Matter has been a process of over years using misery as a political strategy. What Democrats have done a very good job of, and it can be proven, they've been breeding our race for their votes. They've been breeding our daughters for their abortionists, which turn their money back into campaign funding. So we have to understand what the enemy is. It's an ideology, it's not a race, and it's elitism. We have the royalty black class Americans who are very protective of their white leadership. So understand, and this book really highlights that in a big way. For those who want answers, we finally have some answers.
So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that when we look at Black Lives Matter today, we could trace all the way back to, as you said, the Trojan horse that was the NAACP coming into the black community, ruining the black community for all these decades, and now, right now, we have the result that is Black Lives Matter. Am I reading that right?
You're hitting on the head, and I'll tell you who I think we should have in this conversation as we debate back and forth of Black Lives Matter. Let's have the Phil Dorman, the CEO of Viacom. Let's have Sherry Redstone in the board of directors, 100% white board of directors, who 15 years have put together strategies, gotten us to this point where people in the community are angry, they're frustrated, and they are hopeless. And that is a process and a strategy used purposely by white liberal Democrats to get our race to where it is today. We have been turned into racists by cowards, bullies, and racists. We can't afford to let anybody do that to us. So let's pull back the curtains as American society. Let's ask these guys to come before us, explain their strategy, because they don't want to own up to the fact that they own BET. BET is not a black organization.
Now, when you're saying BET, Black Entertainment Network?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll see nothing but, matter of fact, go to the website and you will see what Black Lives Matter, the propaganda that comes from Black Lives Matter. Okay. And again, it's a white organization with nothing but black faces, no control whatsoever by blacks. And that's the stealth of the Democrats.
So so Black Lives Matter, you believe, is right? The strings are being pulled by whites.
Go into the website.
Okay.
See for yourself. See what propaganda looks like.
Burgess Owens, the book again, ladies and gentlemen, Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies and Wimps. It sounds like a light read. In many respects it is, but it's very important. You could hear from the author himself what you're to find in that book. Very important and very revealing. Thank you, Burgess. Great to talk to you, sir.
Thank you, Steve. All the best, my friend.